This video will demonstrate a complete workflow of the new RDT screen. This is version 2 of the application and has moved from a desktop application to a browser-based application that can now be accessed from anywhere. During this demo, we will create a new client, add participants to the client, create a testing pool, add participants to the testing pool, generate a batch from the pool, send that batch to the queue, and then finally send out notifications via email or fax. Let's get started. So in order to access your clients, you must go to the RDT screen module found here. This will bring you to a default view of your participants. So in order to actually see your clients, you must go to the top menu bar and click on the Clients menu item. This brings you to a list view of all the clients currently in your system. And in the top right corner, it lets you know that you have 105 in your system, but only 1 through 80 are currently showing on this view. So in order to create a new client, you must click on the Create button. This will bring you to a form that allows you to enter in all the important information about your client. Their name, logo, which is the logo that is used on the queue notification sent on their behalf, their address, phone number, contacts, fax title, testing pool name, and how they would like to receive their parts. So for the purposes of this demo, I have already created a client that we will test with. So for now, I'm going to discard these changes, which in this takes me back to my list view of clients, and I'm going to use the search bar to find the client that I already created. Today we are going to test with 153 IBEW. So from here you can see I've entered their name, address information, I've added primary contact, a testing pool name, and how we would like to receive the parts. In order for me to edit this record, I must be in edit mode. And to be in edit mode, simply click the edit button at the top, and now I can edit all the fields on this record. You'll notice that I did not add a logo, so let's go ahead and add one. And then at the bottom here, I have the option to add a note. So let's add a test note. Once you have added everything that you needed to add, you want to save this record. So let's review. We have just created our first client. We've added name information, logo information. We've also added a note. And as a side note, just make sure that you notice we have some audit trails in place here. So it'll let you know who created the note. Right now it says IT user because that's the profile that I am logged in under, and when it was created, which is March 22nd. So now that you have added a new client in the system, you need to add participants for your client. You'll notice that we have smart buttons at the top here. One for participants, one for contacts, and one for pools. So today we're going to start at participants. This is a list view of all the participants that are attached to the client. Right now we don't have any because we have not added any. Today we're going to import participants, but you do have the option to create one-off participants by clicking Create here. This will display a form that gives you all the fields needed to add a participant to this record. So I'm going to go ahead and discard these changes and click Import because today we are going to import a spreadsheet. Next, you want to click on Load File. This will bring up a window that allows you to pull a file out of your system. So a couple of things I want to point out here about this import. It's recommended that you use it in a CSV format. The system will tell you that you can use CSV or Excel, but CSV is highly recommended and it is the preferred format. You'll also notice that once the file has uploaded, it gives you a preview of the data. This will help you to make sure that you actually imported the correct spreadsheet, and also for you to be able to validate some of the information that's on it. So the first thing you want to do here is click on Show All Fields for Completion Advanced. What this does is it allows you to click and have all of the fields in your system when you're choosing your columns and comparing them to the database fields. And I will show you an example. So now I'm going to go ahead and match the spreadsheet fields with the fields in my system. I'm going to import the social because social is a required field, and we also need this field so that we can do some validations and make sure we're not importing any duplicates. I'm going to import this name. Name is also a required field. The system has already selected address for us, city, and zip. I want to also import birthday, card number, and in this system, card number is called an ID number now. Now you'll notice that I have a client ID here. What this field does is it makes sure when you're importing your people that they are attached to the correct client. We will provide a form, a document that will have a list of all of your clients and the ID numbers associated with them, so that when you're importing your spreadsheets, you can add this information to your spreadsheet. And we will also train you to know where to find the ID number if you just added a new client. So I am going to choose the database ID for this client because that's what this number is. Now you'll also notice that I'm importing a field called days since last test. The reason that I'm doing this is strictly for demo purposes. The system has a validation where if someone has tested within the last 90 days, they cannot come up in the batch again. So what I'm doing is I'm overriding this and making it seem as though all the people we're about to import have tested in 100 days, which makes them eligible to test again. So I'm going to choose my field here. Okay, so now I have selected all the fields that I would like to import. And I'm just going back through to check and make sure that I did choose everything that I wanted. And the next step, you're going to go ahead and validate this information and make sure that there's no duplicates and that there are no errors. But that is something that I will show you on the next video.